Hello everyone, Zelleranth here, and for today's video, we're currently going to be looking at some more account reviews people have posted in the Discord. So we're going to be taking a look at these while live right now. We're just going to go ahead and see what people are asking questions about on their account and what they might want to pull over here in the future. And if you want your own, you can always just join the Discord and make a post here, and then just hopefully I get to yours. I'm trying to keep up with them to a certain extent, and right now I'm pretty caught up with the latest ones. We'll probably do like 4 to 5 here, and then maybe I'll do some more tomorrow to get it fully complete. At least the newer ones out there. I don't really ever go farther back than like 5 to 10 days, because it gets to be too old for really going over an account review at that point. All right, so we're going to start with these. First one here, we have Newbie Pace Main advice suggestion on pull plan. So I started playing during the Ines Fujin. Okay, so this is a little bit of a newer player here. Ines Fujin. So missed Kita-san Black. Ines Fujin. Yeah, missed Fine Motion. Pretty much missed all the big stuff. I plan to be a Pace Chaser main, but since all my favorite Umas are coincidentally Pace Chasers, I feel as if I started playing during a really awkward time. Yes, Track Blazer really sucks. Really bad time to start. But we're getting close to a perfect timing for you to be caught up. Now, your biggest thing is you're going to be missing Kita-san all the way until El Condor Pasa, where you can basically use her to make yourself, or make her no longer relevant. As I need to save up, yeah, of course. Current sport cards are relatively weak, despite being able to win the last 2 open CMs. Well, I mean, yeah, that's the thing. And that's been my advice for anybody who starts new now. Open, like, I disagreed with, like, Tuglo on doing the Open if you actually have competitive cards. But if you're brand new, the Open League is perfect. Because anyone can get the rank, the tippity-top rank for Open League. And then it just comes down to getting the skills and stats that fit that. And literally, if you want to be a player that only played Open League, you don't even have to pull heavily on the support card banners. Like, 1 copy of the support card's all you need for Open League. Primarily because the biggest thing is you're going to want to get like the main gold skills. So pretty nice that you've been able to win some champions meetings as a new player here. I plan on 600 pulls for Agnes Tack. So you're going ham on it. You're doing the same plan as me. It's kind of, I mean, I'd have to say your cards, but depending on how you want to approach it, you're probably wanting to get competitive ASAP is what it sounds. Not having Kita-san Black is really going to suck, though, for you. But, I mean, Agnes Tachyon kind of catches you up in that respect. You're just basically missing out on Professor of Curvature. But I guess you could make it your borrow, realistically, alongside these. If you can, especially MLB, both of those two. Yeah, and then you're also fleshing out your SR cards. My main questions are, should I pull for... Oh, yeah, and if you're a Pace Chaser main, getting MLB Agnes Tachyon is quite important for you. So really not a bad decision there. Should you pull for Maru Zensky plus Fine Motion or Mr. CB Super Creek? That one's going to kind of depend. I feel like Mr. CB Super Creek's the more important one, because Mr. CB is just as competitive as Fine Motion in terms of a wit card. Fine Motion does have Speed Star for you as a Pace Chaser, but for just a stat stick, Mr. CB is quite fine, and you can just kind of... That way you can get your stamina covered with Super Creek. Super Creek's going to be very important for the Rima Keenan, and by having Super Creek, hopefully at high dupes, you'll be able to... It'll still keep your slot open to borrow Kita-san Black for it. And so that'll be killing 2 birds with 1 stone. Maru Zensky is a great stat stick too, and that, I mean, so, and this gets you a 3rd speed card. So both, like, it's kind of tricky. I think you're fine either way. Just know without Super Creek, you're probably going to have to borrow her. She's going to be your borrow on the long ones. And then ultimately, I mean, you can get away without having Kita-san Black. You're just the biggest thing is you're missing out on Professor of Curvature and having a harder time with your runs without her. But you can get the high stats. You just have to get a higher roll without her. Considering still new, are there any support card bands I should pull on to put myself in a better position? Ones that wouldn't typically be recommended to normal players. Usually for me, those are going to be speed card banners, which you have 2 meta speed card banners. Like normally I would have said, I can't remember. Like all the big reroll banners that I find are always going to be speed ones, but because you have big speed card banners, you're pretty much following the main track everybody else is. I don't know of any real banners that are going to be advantageous as for you as a new player now. It's just, yeah, these are the big ones for you. And then you're going to be, if you could hit all three of them heavily, you'll catch up quite a decent amount because you'll have 3 or 4-ish cards for your runs, plus your 1 borrow, and then you fill the other slot with an SR. But yeah. Is it a good choice for me to skip the Ancestors and Guides banner? That's going to depend on if you have Super Creek, Major Romanu, your 2 speed cards, another Wit card, which you should get if you pull on either of these. And you don't mind losing the flexibility of borrowing the meta cards that'll drop during Grand Masters that you can flex into your slots to have a better chance. It's very tricky. I mean, it's really... Ancestors and Guides is a terrible banner. But I feel like if you have the other 5 cards covered, and you kind of look at Henry Handsome, since you're looking at the care calculator, look at the kind of guides on what cards you need to bring. If you have everything covered, at least for the standard deck, you don't have to have the whale deck, but if you have the standard deck covered, you could make it your perma borrow. Just know it'll suck. But it is one possibility you could work with. Now, the thing is also, there is only going to be, I think, 3 champions meetings during Grand Masters. The other 2 will be League of Heroes. And League of Heroes will be, for most people, more relaxing. You don't need to win a last race. You just got to win a consistent amount of races with all 3 of yours to get to the Platinum 4, which is easier from what people have said with the experience in the JP side, in terms of, because you can lose certain races and lose so many points. We'll have to see. But I think the closer we get, you'll kind of need to see how your other pulls go here before you kind of think about this one. Because Major Romanu, to me, is a massive card. And if you can get that one and you have everything else covered, you could make this a borrow. It just really depends on where you're at that point. So I think that one's just a decision you make once we get close to it. I have the daily carrot pack, but I wouldn't mind spending a little in future if needed. I'm guessing you'll go over the selectors there. Should have 1 SSR and SR Crystal by Grand Live. Okay. Not too concerned about the meta and being best. I'm happy mid-tier player since you first gotcha. Oh, if that's the case, then yeah, you're pretty much, I mean, you got the main meta stuff all built in there. Yeah, you're right on the cusp on the Agnes Takian, like, hello banner. But even with that, everything else you can move through pretty decently. Yeah, I mean, I don't really see... I mean, the only things that I like to mention, which realistically, if you're not a heavy spender, I wouldn't really worry about, are some of the parenting type cards. Because you're just strictly getting meta ones for aces, which work. It'll just be a little bit harder to get really, really good parents without the gold skills. But for most people, it's not going to be worth the carrots to pull on those banners anyway. Dipping 200 pulls is a lot of pulls just for a parent card for most people. Let's see what you have here. Oh yeah, you're really hurting on speed cards. Yeah, Agnes Takian is definitely gonna... Man, this is making me kind of think about the Summer Maruzensky banner to get you 2 Agnes Takian and then Summer Maruzensky. What do you got stamina-wise here? But then again, you're also kind of screwed on stamina for the longs. But the thing is, stamina's only good really for the longs and maybe the mediums. So you would get more value out of Summer Maruzensky as a stat stick. Yeah, okay, yeah, so they're saying Maruzensky and Fine Motion. I will say the Maruzensky one, the nice thing is, I didn't really think about mentioning that, but yeah, you don't need high dupes of Maruzensky. You do need high dupes of Super Creek. So if you dip your toes into Maruzensky, you can limit break one her with your Rainbow Shard, and she'll be fine as a speed card. While Super Creek, because I was thinking maybe, because I'm thinking you have more pulls than you actually show that you have here. But with Super Creek, if you just get like limit break 1 or limit break 0, she's kind of useless. But yeah, I didn't think of that because you're going to be low on pulls after active Tachyon. So yeah, I think this one's actually the good one to go for. Let's see. But yeah, I mean, overall, your plan's pretty good. Just getting that extra speed card will make your life a lot easier. All right. Oh yeah, someone mentioned, yeah, I didn't see that. You already have limit break 1, Mr. CB. So that reduces the value of pulling on Super Creek Banner. That's all you need really for her. So while more dupes definitely helps her, you don't need them. So that'll help you through. So yeah, Summer Body Zensky banner is way better. Plan to Lark as a strategy, or wait, plan to Lark as a strategy, non-committal flex. So you're just doing everything. 80,000 carats, light spender, monthly pack, and $20 selectors. Maybe $70 selector here or there if you're desperate. Which I think that's a good way to think about it, because if you off banner some cards and then the selector, one more selector at $70 can top it off. It's like the best value you're ever going to get out of them. But let's see. I'm not committed to any single strategy for the time being. The reason being that despite wanting to be competitive, want to win with characters you like. Yep. Okay. Have your cake and eat it too. Plan on maining fronts and ends in Grand Live. What you need to main, if you have her, Christmas Ogre Cap. Yeah. Here, just main Christmas. You don't. It's not a strategy. You main Christmas Ogre Cap. You just run her on pretty much everything. Well, all the mediums, and you're good to go. You're good to go. Planning on maining for its ends. Yep. Or lates and end grandmasters and perma borrowing ancestors and guides complicates fronts. I mean, by skipping ancestors and guides, that hopefully buys you some carrots to pull on Mihono Bourbon Wit for fronts. I'm currently trying to cycle Brian, Fuji, and Ogdi as parents / grandparents. General skills: Uma stand, tail held high, ramp up in greens. We'll start making front parents when I get sane from the daily legend races. All right. Polling / selector ticket Umas that I personally must have and daily paid. Pulling a meta relevant nice to haves. Salvar Mazensky doesn't fit the budget and seems like an obvious borrow. May daily puller selector crystal. Yeah, I mean, you can get a limit break 1 by other means. Mr. CB and Creek, extra CB copies. Mr. CB is fine at limit break 1 if you have already have that. MLB Creek, but if you need MLB Creek, it's not going to hurt either. Oh, you don't even have any Super Creek. Let me see. So you're planning 200 pulls there. Let's see. Yeah, so Mr. CB and Creek, extra CB copies, MLB Creek with pull selectors and crystals if needed. I mean, yeah, 200 pulls, hopefully you can get that, and then maybe you luck into some extra Mr. CB so they're not going to hurt. Romanu planned of 200, but could go to 400 if unlucky. Yeah. To avoid the excessive crystal use. Cafe Wit heard its good longevity, but certain possible drop. She's one of those cards that if you're willing to buy the selector and get the $70 selector, you can get her right off the bat at limit break 2. And so 200 pulls dipped into hers. You could dip your toes in there, hopefully get 1 copy, and then you MLB her with all the selectors. That seems to be the strategy with her. You have Sakura Laurel, Neo, so you got the main big Umas. Aston Machan, your sprint inherit. Guessing this is an Oshi pickup. I don't think they're meta in any way. I mean, your plan looks fine there. And let's look at your cards here for Umas. Yeah, I think overall your plan is pretty good. No, yeah, no real issues there. Someone's mentioned it already had covered this one. That's kind of weird. I have it sort and view by date posted, not recently active. Maybe they posted again. I don't know. Hey, but I think your plan's pretty solid here. So getting double the advice, I guess. Try not if I've already covered yours though, please try not to post it again. It's kind of hard to remember which ones I've done. There are some that are a lot similar. But yeah, I think your plan's overall pretty good. Mr. CB and Super Creek copies there. Let's just go ahead and move on to the next one. Returning player advice suggestion. So you're coming back. Was wondering if I could advise on what to pull. Before returning, I never looked up guides or recommendations. Okay, so I didn't plan on having either Helios, Takim, and CB be my aces, maybe all the same time, if that's a good idea. Because of this, I'm unsure if I even try to get Agnes Tachyon support, since I wouldn't be able to use it efficiently. I mean, if you're using Agnes Tachyon herself all the time, but your other Umas are going to really want her. And you need Light Hello. I mean, the key thing is you need Light Hello, so you're going to want to pull in the banner regardless, and just see how the pulls go. Missing any support cards. I'm fine with spending 150 on each support banner and plan on buying the selectors. 150-ish on every support banner. In terms of, is that what you mean, every one of the ones on here? So it looks like you're skipping pretty much everything in Grand Live. I mean, this is a little late. I mean, Summermani Zensky, although I can see why you're pulling her late. What's your fine motion at? Oh, depending on your luck. Depending on your luck on this banner, you have the Summer Zensky and Fine Motion banner not too long after it. Because Nishino Flower is not all that good of a support card. This is like right around Major Romanu. So this banner you're literally pulling for Summer Zensky, and that's it. While the other one has Fine Motion. But I can see the reasoning being that you're going to be hurting on pulls. Although, as you can see here, you're at 368 here. So if you buy any of the packs that bring you right up to 400, then you basically have 200 that you could spend on Summer Zensky, and then just top yourself up for the 200 right here. If you have to go all the way, because you only need Limit Break 1, or you go the other way around, pull on this banner, and then Summer Zensky on the Fine Motion rerun 200 there, versus 400 here. And then you can use the free selector to get Limit Break 1. And then let's see. Oh, a returning player. Okay, you do have Key to Sun Black. Okay. Yeah, you were a day 1 player that didn't get all the limit breaks here. So Key to Sun Black, you'll have Agnes Tachyon. You should be able to get Summer Zensky. Power cards don't mean anything. Guts cards really don't mean anything. I mean, here you'll be able to get away with... you got Mihano Bourbon, which is good for front runner. I mean, you got like Diva Scarlet and Marvelous Sunday, so you should be able to get through. So I think you're kind of open to whichever direction you want to go, although I feel like pulling the Fine Motion banner is the way to go for Summer Zensky. And then you'll top up, or you'll push hard on Major Romanu when she drops. Which, you don't have her on your pull plan. I would definitely drop Summer Zensky and Nishino Flower for Major Romanu here, especially if you do 200 pulls there. It'll be a little tight, but you said you're willing to spend money, so I would trade this one out for Major Romanu, and then spend the money necessary to do 200 pulls on the Fine Motion Summer Zensky right there. All right, that's my thoughts on that one. Let's go ahead and go to the next one. Whole plan for the next scenario. Advice one if I should branch out to late surger or pace for later. It just kind of depends on what you want to run here and what's coming up. Currently a front runner main, but I eventually want to move into a second running style being late or pace. Currently at 112k carats, most of the core important cards in the launch of the game, 3 rainbow uncapped gems. Still have my first anniversary selector. Holy. Yeah, you probably in that situation I used to be, and nothing really seemed worth it. Maybe, well, I will say power cards are going to die off. Vodka Power is a bad choice. It's not really a good parent card, and you're not going to really use it for aces. Let's just kind of look at what you have option-wise. Yeah, let's see this current chain at Limit Break 2 is something possible. Have MLB Super Creek. El Condor Pasa was a possibility for Limit Break 3. Could have used that since she was a really good card during Track Blazer for the mediums. But she's going to fall off too. I think Kawakami Princess needs MLB, so she's not really an option if you want the 10 race bonus for parent runs. I think Speed Suzuka may be your card. She's a link card during, especially since you kind of have front runners as your current main. There are, I think, 2 CMs during Grand Live where she'll be a meta card, speed card you can use for unrestrained. And since she's a link card, she has skill point bonus. I think you need Limit Break 2 to get that skill point bonus. So she might be your option. Because, yeah, pretty much all the other options are pretty bad. Current Chan Wit maybe being the only one possible there. But you already have Fine Motion. And then you have Mihono Bourbon for your front runner. So those two go hand in hand. But outside of them, you could use Perv or a higher stat stick. So I think your best potential might be Speed Suzuka. Now, don't use it until you need it. But when you look at those specific CMs coming up, that might be your option. Okay, so that's that. Okay, then currently planning doing 200 full to 400 pulls or Summer Maruzenski speed to get at least Limit Break 3. And, oh, you're a heavier spender, aren't you? 400 to 600 pulls for Light Hello, Agnes Speed. Ideally, MLB all of them with the use of my uncapped gems. And be set up for the next scenario. Maybe leave one of them to be a permanent borrow, depending on what I'm able to get. Willing to spend money on the selector bundles when they come out. Alas, for late/pace swap, running front runners has been fun, but eventually I'd like to try another style. I mean, the transition's mostly Umas. So you got like Late Surger, Sakura Laurel for your longs, Paces, Narita Bryan for longs. I think, yeah, like Neo Universe. Daitako Helios is a front runner that also can run as Paces. That I know one League of Heroes she'll be good as a Pace Chaser. I think the same thing on some of the CMs that I've seen, at least listed as being a main Pace Chaser, even though she's a runaway. You have TM Opera O Wit during Grandmasters, but I wouldn't worry too much about that one and make it a borrow. I think your big card for Paces, after, I mean, Agnes Tachyon Speed, very important, would be, it's quite a ways away, but McQueen Wit. Outside of the parent cards that I talk about. But I think, yeah, overall, your pull plan's pretty good. Just get yourself topped up on the main cards. Because you have your Wit covered. You have Speed covered. You'll have her, Agnes Tachyon, potentially Silent Suzuka, Summer Maruzenski, and then on the one track where you don't need, if you go front, you can ditch Agnes Tachyon for some Speed Suzuka. She has 1 skill point bonus, so you don't lose too much out on skill point bonus. But Unrestrained is going to be really good if you run a front runner on those. Outside of that, I think your plan's okay. I mean, it's just, there's nothing too crazy coming up that are like must-haves. There's just kind of some intermediate Umas that have like decent inherits. And if you mention End Closer, you have like Mr. CB. That'll be a big one right as we get through the second anniversary. All right. Let's see. We'll do one more, and then I'll leave. Yeah, I'll leave 5 for tomorrow. Newbie pole plan front main. Oh man, front as a new person. Do you have Mihono Bourbon Wit? That's the one thing that sucks if you're brand spanking new is not having Mihono Bourbon Wit. Grand Live is going to be brutal because of how good she is there. She gives you 2 golds, taking the lead, and concentration being a link card. You're pretty much hating that until you get to the new Mihono Bourbon Wit card. Made countless errors on this account, mainly pulling for Umas and reaching pity. Oh, okay, you've had bad choices too. Don't have most of the good free-to-play SSR cards that came out earlier this year, late 25. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, missing out on Mihono Bourbon Wit sucks. The thing is, they'll never have another one that I've seen, at least, that is that good on the free cards. I mean, there's some decent ones, but none that are as good as Mihono Bourbon Wit. Noting that I may or may not use 200 on Samurai Zinski if first copy come early, then use a selector. Then I may not use 400 on Lighthead Low Tachyon depending on the first 200. Yeah, I mean, that's the way I see it. If you're going to go with 400 pulls into that banner, see how the first 200 goals and make your pulls go and then make your decision there. I have 1 Limit Break Super Creek as well as the first anniversary selector, and I'm probably going to use it after going from... Oh, you already have Mr. Super and Super Creek in your rerun plan. So let's see. Air Shakure. I don't know if you're pulling for her or not. I mean, she's already here. You say 0 pulls, so... So getting Samurai Zenski, that'll top her, get you hopefully a Limit Break 1 there. 400 here, it'll really depend. Depending on this will depend for this one, and then you have 200 here. Then Kita-san White. Major Ramanu. Goddess. Yeah, okay, you have it at 0. Depending on what your deck looks like, this might, like, especially if you like front runners, you really want this Mihono Bourbon Wit card. And if you have Summer Maruzensky, Summer Maruzensky, you'll have Agnes Tachyon Speed. There's your speed cards. You'll have Super Creek, right? Let me see your cards you currently have. You'll have, hopefully, Super Creek at a good point. So you have their stamina covered. You'll have Major Ramanu at that point. I guess you have Marvelous Sunday as well to kind of cover you in Grandmasters because you don't have any others. But Major Ramanu looks to be very important for you since you don't have much there. And speed side of things. Oh, no Kita-san Black. Yeah, so you'll be dealing with Agnes Tachyon Speed and Summer Zenski. So those are your most important banners for sure. So getting those off the ground, very important. But I think it can work. You're going to be kind of weak over the course of the next 2 without Professor of Curvature, but I mean, you can make do without it. But yeah, you get to that, and then yeah, you're saving, and you dump on here and get El Condor Pasa Speed MLB, and you'll be caught up like with basically all the other players because you'll have your Mihono Bourbon, El Condor Pasa, you'll have another speed stat stick card in Summer Zenski, Super Creek, Major Ramanu is a wit card, and you'll be great going into Lark. You won't really have to worry too much at that point. But yeah, overall, I mean, I think your pull plan looks pretty good there. Yeah, and then you have there is no selector on the 1.5 anniversary. You will be able to farm out Sayun Sky, but you won't be able to get Bourbon there until the 2nd anniversary if you can use a selector. If you want to get another front runner, Ines Fujin Valentine's kind of in there. But man, with your pull, you're pretty tight on your pulls. I don't think you can really afford it. But Ines Fujin Valentine's will be one you'll want to pick up too at some point. She's very similar to Mihono Bourbon Valentine's, other than that she can use the Mihono Bourbon Wit card. So So depending on your luck, maybe you can pull her, but it really depends on your luck. Probably right here. If you get Kita-san white early, then maybe you can afford it. It just comes down to timing and your carrots at the time. But overall, I think your plan's pretty good. You'll be completely caught up at the end in Lark, kind of with just where everybody else is in terms of cards. But yeah, that'll be it for now on the account reviews. Just went over, I think, 4 or 5 of them. I'll try and do the other ones tomorrow. I'll just get the rest of them knocked out. But that'll be it for now. And if you like my content, if you could like, comment, subscribe, it really helps. And thanks for watching.